Yo, what's up, everybody? Can everybody hear me? Thank you for all the birthday wishes, everyone. My birthday's tomorrow, but I may not have time to stream tomorrow, so I thought I'd go ahead and do it today. Also, it's Friday, which is a day that I normally kind of stream, so. It's weird. I think that this past year kind of went by really fast, but I also feel like it's been forever since it was my birthday. Seems like my last birthday was a long time ago. I don't know, it's a weird paradox, I feel like. Anyway, how's everyone else doing today? I'm gonna try to, it's, a lot of people are like vaccinated and stuff now. So I'm gonna try to see people this weekend if possible. But we'll see what happens. Second pandemic birthday, yeah, I guess so. Last year on my birthday, I did a 12-hour stream. But this year, I'm actually going to leave the house. It's a lot less scary since I and most of the people I know are vaccinated. I'm doing well. It's my birthday. Thank you for the kind words, Tyrell. And thank you for the continued birthday wishes. Keep it coming as far as I'm concerned. Am I gonna play D&D? I'm probably gonna play on Sunday. I mean, we play every week, so that's not gonna stop. Wasn't your last birthday that time when all your friends came on? Yeah, I had like a 12-hour stream and I had like multiple like different things going on. I actually played D&D on stream, and then we played a bunch of like Jackbox games with a bunch of my friends. So yeah. Can you request some Nina? You mean the music? I can't do song requests because I'm streaming. I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube. But on YouTube, you can't play copyrighted music, or else your stream could literally get shut down in the middle of the stream if it detects copyrighted music. True story, because it's happened to me before. Actually, these days it'll probably get content ID'd and you'll just lose the ads, but I want to avoid that as well. If it was just Twitch, you could play copyrighted music, but you generally don't want to do that either because people are getting copyright striked on Twitch as well these days. But usually it's through their clips, not through their streams. But YouTube, as far as I know, they have their content ID algorithm running during the stream. Whereas I don't think that happens on Twitch. They run it after the stream has been published. Yeah, and I could stream. I actually have streamed some stuff from Harris Heller, but I've got music playing, and I like the music that I have playing. Is it? Can you all not hear the music? I mean, if you can switch to Twitch, but the music is going to be the same. Thoughts on legalizing all drugs? I think I'm generally in favor of decriminalizing drugs. I have some hesitancies for like the really like ridiculous, dangerous drugs that are like likely to kill you or make you seriously ill. But at the end of the day, it's sort of like comparing how much you are causing harm to yourself versus how much you're causing harm to other people and to society. And generally with drugs, it's mostly harm to yourself, in which case, if you want to fuck yourself up, that should be your right. I would have assumed that anything you could find on YouTube, you could play. For the most part, you can play stuff, but it will be content ID'd, and you won't be able to make any money from the ads on it. Every now and then, you'll play something that whoever owns the music just doesn't want other people to play, and they'll just have your video taken down. But usually, they just let you keep it up, but they take all the advertising revenue. What's my favorite thing about D&D? It's hard to pick one thing. I just did a whole video about why I like D&D if you haven't seen it yet. I mean, for me, as a person who's usually the dungeon master, I just really like telling stories, and I really like the sort of collaborative storytelling aspect of D&D. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, Twitch is clearly the superior live streaming platform. I don't think anyone disagrees with that, but my audience is on YouTube, so it would be foolish of me not to stream on YouTube. For example, if I look at Twitch right now, I have 1 viewer, it says 2 viewers, as opposed to YouTube where I have 30 viewers and rising. So, but luckily, somebody someday made some software that allowed me to stream to both at the same time. So that's cool. Are you a cake person, or do I prefer some other kind of birthday treat? I like birthday cake. I'm generally not a cake person in general, but I do like birthday cake specifically, especially with ice cream. Doesn't harming yourself harm society in part? You can become a burden on your family or public health care. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's not all drugs are created equally. Like marijuana, you know, you're not going to be in the emergency room for smoking the marijuana. However, you might be in the emergency room for smoking heroin, or you might just die. And that's why I'm a little bit more ambivalent about the really fucked up drugs like heroin. I would have to think about that more. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. What's the best birthday you had as a child? I mean, I don't know if I can think of a single one. I don't know if they still do this or if anybody remembers this, but you used to be able to have birthday parties at McDonald's. Maybe you can still do this. I don't know. It doesn't seem like you can still do this. But when I was a kid, you could have birthday parties at McDonald's, and they would like organize the whole thing. They would get like a person to come and like play games with the kids and stuff like that. And those were fun back in the day. You used to get Happy Meals and shit. Does anybody remember that, or did anybody do that or know about that? Lethal Gaming Sims, you can definitely play D&D online. Check out Roll20 if you just want to join a group, or if you've just got friends that want to play, you can play over Zoom or Discord or something like that. You can play over the phone. You can do whatever you know. Like the cool thing about D&D is really all you have to do is talk. I mean, I guess you have to have character sheets, but you can make those pretty easily. Yeah, a lot of people suggested Black Dice Society. Not quite 1 million subs. I'm a ways off from that. Seems like several people also have birthdays around this time, so happy birthday to all of those folks. Alcohol will do more harm to your relationships than weed. I agree, yeah. Alcohol is a really interesting substance because in moderation it's fine and great, but in excess it's probably one of the worst things you can put in your body. Steve, I know several people who have died from heroin OD. It's a terrible, terrible thing people shouldn't do. However, a lot of it is not specifically individual bad choices. There's a whole thing about the opioid epidemic and how people, people were prescribed opioids, and then all of a sudden they were kind of taken off opioids, or the opioids became too expensive and they just started buying heroin instead off the streets and became addicted and stuff like that. So there's, like most things, it's complicated, but I remember one of the games we played was we would take the Big Mac containers and we would take turns stacking them, and whoever stacked it too high to where it fell was the loser. It was kind of like Jenga, I guess. D&D has a free starter set, does it? I know it has a starter set, but as far as I know, it's not free. And you can get things like the basic rules and stuff for free, and character sheets and pre-made characters. don't know if you can get like the actual starting adventure for free though, but maybe I'm wrong. Loved your D&D video. Appreciate that. The D&D video is interesting because it is by far my least viewed video in a long time, which makes sense because it's a lot different than the videos I normally make. But it has gotten some of like the best reception, proportionally way more comments than normal, proportionally way more likes than normal. I've gotten a lot of messages, so for the people that liked it, they really liked it, so that was pretty cool. Have I ever played WoW? Yes, I played a shit ton of WoW. I am familiar with NADPod, not another D&D podcast, not another D&D podcast. I haven't listened to too much of it though, but I would like to do that. Yeah, a lot of people transition to heroin off of prescription drugs. And that's one of the causes of the opioid epidemic in America. Possibly other countries, I'm not sure. But yeah, heroin is bad. Don't do heroin. I truly know like way too many people that have died from heroin overdose. A couple of which were actually, you know, friends of mine. Like it seems to be the case if you, well, never mind, I won't say that, but yeah, it's bad. I think heroin and certain other drugs are it's just on a whole different level. Like certain drugs are bad, like cocaine. You probably shouldn't do cocaine, but cocaine is not going to fuck you up in the same way that heroin is. Like it just isn't. And the stream is probably already demonetized because of the drug discussion, but that's fine. I'm starting my first tabletop campaign soon as a player. Not even sure what the game is though. Pretty sure not D&D. Well, the cool thing about most tabletop games is the GM can kind of walk you through it. And all you really have to worry about is playing your character. So that's cool. There's some, like if you're playing like Warhammer, you probably need to know the rules. But for more of the RP focused ones, you're usually okay. D&D must be good since it stood the test of time. I think that's true to some extent, but I also think it's sort of a testament to the people, the developers and the people working on the game. Because from what I understand, a lot of people hated the last edition 4E of D&D. Or maybe not hated it, but they thought that it was kind of a step down from the previous one. And if they kind of left it at that, you know, the popularity of D&D maybe would not have exploded like it has. Who do I play in Street Fighter and Smash? I main Sakura in Street Fighter 5, and in Smash Ultimate I main Ike. In Melee I play Peach. Cocaine will fuck up your bank account. I don't doubt it. Honestly, weed will fuck up your bank account too, depending on how much you smoke. A lot really hated it, but it's a good game. Are you talking about 4E? As I said in my video, the only version of D&D I played is 5e, the most recent version, but apparently it's pretty like universally well-received edition. I know some people like, a lot of people like 3.5, I believe, or whatever it's called. But 5e is like, everyone seems to be down with it. And it's like really easy to get people into. And I've loved it. But I'm glad that I was able to share one of my hobbies with the audience, because I think sometimes people like, you know, I comment on videos a lot on YouTube, and so I'll comment on like a chess video or a D&D video or a Street Fighter video or a Smash video, and then someone will, I usually get recognized in the comments these days because, you know, I guess I'm just, you know, known enough for that these days. And someone was like, "Oh my God, you play Street Fighter? Oh my God, you play chess? Oh my God, you like this?" And it's like, yeah, I like other stuff. I like stuff. It like, I think people sometimes only see you in one way because of the type of content you make. But I like other stuff too. In fact, I make a lot of videos about politics, but politics is exhausting. I don't even like when I'm not working on videos, I'm like rarely even watching political stuff. Like I try to keep, you know, I try to like be informed of like what's going on in the world, but I'd much rather watch, you know, entertaining stuff, and that's not depressing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm interested and passionate about politics and social issues. I think it's really important. That's why I choose to make content about it. But it definitely can get exhausting every now and then. FGC videos coming when? I don't know. We'll see. I think the reason I decided to make a D&D video is because I think that D&D has actually like affected how I think about the world. So I think that more fits the scope than fighting games, but I could see some angles I could take with that. Yeah, I played chess. I just played a match the other day with someone who was like, "Oh my God, are you the T1J?" I was like, "I guess. I don't know. I guess there's not any other T1Js as far as I know." Actually, there is someone on Twitter whose display name is T1J. I don't know who it is though. Also, someone owns T1J.com. I'm not sure why. It's pretty annoying. Maybe we'll try to buy it one day, but they want a lot of money for it. Just turned 42 a few weeks ago. Well, happy late birthday to you. One thing that well, you guys are talking about Trump. One thing I've learned about Trump is I can't predict what the hell he's gonna do or what's gonna happen. Because I would have never predicted that he got as far as he did. Isn't the T1J a little redundant? I see what you did there. Thank you for the birthday wishes all. Like I said earlier, I don't think I'll have time to stream tomorrow. I usually try to stream on my birthday if I can, at least for a little bit, but I may not have time. I'm going out of town tomorrow. I only have very loose plans. I'm supposed to be hanging out with a friend tonight. Tomorrow I'm going to visit my dad. After that, I'm not sure. I know I'm playing D&D on Sunday. But my goal is to try and see as many people as I can throughout the weekend. But maybe I should have made more solid plans. But I don't know. I'm the type of guy that just goes with the flow and plays it by ear. That's kind of how I live, which works. My mileage varies. I'll just say that. But the major things is hanging out with friends tonight, going to see my dad tomorrow. What's up, Ricky? Thank you for the birthday wishes. I was thinking like, well, it was like, you know, it's my birthday weekend. I'm a party all weekend, but I can't really party because I gotta like get up early every day. So it's my birthday. I'm going to casually hang out with people that I like all weekend. Which is fine. At our age, partying is overrated. Well, it is. It is when you wake up the next day. I'll give you that. Why does paper beat rock and rock, paper, scissors? Paper covers rock. See? I think the implication, I think when we think of rock, paper, scissors, the implication is that the only way to defeat something is through violence. But I think rock, paper, scissors is arguing that you could defeat someone without using violence. That's why paper beats rock. Absolutely. Anyone who supports the channel through Patreon or becoming a member is a homie for sure. Getting together is not overrated. I agree. No, I mean, I don't like party super hard these days, but I do like hanging out And I'm in a position where I guess I have more like flexibility than a lot of other people. So I'm like always down to like go to the beach or go to the lake house or go to a gathering. Like I'm like always down for that, like pretty much. Also, I'm a bit of an extrovert, I guess. I really like being around people. So as you can imagine, the pandemic has been rough. But yeah, I can't do like when I was doing in my like early 20s where I'd like go to the bar and just get destroyed and fucking dance all night and then wake up and be fine. That is not a thing anymore. Nope. Paper legislates the rock into a small room, which it convinces scissors to guard for a small fee. But yeah, I think my sort of idea of fun is like a bunch of friends like going on a trip or something. That's kind of how I like to party, I guess. Or like going, like fucking renting an Airbnb and barbecuing or something. Like that's what I'd like to do, rather than like going to a rager or something. Did I believe Ninja Turtles lived in sewers like you did? I don't know if I ever believed that specifically. I was a huge fan of the Ninja Turtles though. That was my jam when I was younger. I feel like the cartoon used to come on like right when I got home from school or something like that. Or maybe we used to watch it on Saturdays, but I remember we watched it like every week, like every day. Any thoughts on recent South Park episodes? I don't know. I mean, I don't really watch South Park. I think I have randomly caught a couple of episodes. I'm not sure how recent they were, but it's hard to say because South Park is like always on Comedy Central. So I'm sure that they're showing old episodes as well as new ones. But yeah, I don't know. My experience when I watch South Park, it's basically like I feel like I don't laugh that much as I don't laugh as much as I'm just like, oh my god, what the fuck? Like that's kind of like my experience watching South Park. It's like, did they really just do that? But overall, I mean, I'm neutral towards South Park. It's not like my favorite show, but I guess I'm okay with it existing. I think sometimes they get into that sort of almost like nihilistic mentality, which I don't agree with. They have this sort of idea that, and lots of people have talked about the South Park mentality where like, basically like they argue that caring about anything is bad or stupid. And I don't agree with that, but just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean it shouldn't exist. Thank you, Spencer. Happy birthday to your brother. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Happy birthday to, I don't know how to say that, M071TZ. Everybody's a bunch of people said it, either it's their birthday or someone in their nose birthday around this time. And I also have a lot of friends whose birthday is around this time. Maybe it's a popular birthday time. I don't know what Randonautica is. Maybe we've become desensitized to the idea of little kids swearing and saying unpredictable things. I mean, I guess. I think societies are definitely becoming desensitized to everything, but it is what it is. I don't necessarily think that's bad. I think people generally should be less sensitive, but just kind of depends on the situation. Drink of my my huge water bottle. I always try to drink a lot of water. And, you know, I go back and forth on how successful I am at that. But my goal is to drink a gallon of water a day. So I thought I would get myself a gallon water bottle so I can just drink on it all day. When they started South Park like 25 years ago, the idea was to put Archie Bunker character on TV, but they can only do it if they made him kids. Well, I feel like there are Archie Bunker type of characters on TV. Also, I mean, was that the idea? Like, who's the Archie Bunker character? The idea of Archie Bunker was that he was like a lovable bigot, like a lovable idiot. But like, for example, Cartman is definitely not lovable, and all the other characters are like maybe Randy is a lovable idiot. I don't know, but Randy didn't become the focus of the show until more recently, so, or he didn't become like a major character until more recently. Will we have another artist like Michael Jackson? I guess you have to identify what it is about Michael Jackson that you think makes him unique. I would say that we do have artists like Michael Jackson, or we have people that are approaching that level of sort of extraordinary talent. Donald Glover comes to mind. I think what's happening now is instead of just one person being amazing, we just have like so much great media being made all at once these days that the talent and the good stuff is being spread across many people rather than being focused in one person. Is it tap water? Yes, it is tap water. This is kind of random. I live in Alabama, but Alabama just randomly has like some of the best tap water in the country. It's true, like you can look it up. Something like Alabama has like world-class like water treatment facilities and stuff like that. It is a lot of water, but water is good for you. It is good to stay hydrated. At least for me, especially the older I get, I've learned that my entire state of being can be completely changed if I'm not properly hydrated. Like everything is worse when I'm not hydrated. I'm more tired. My face looks weird, like I like break out a little bit. I feel like my digestion is off, have less energy. It's just everything is bad. Don't sleep well. Hydration is important. It may matter less when you have a youthful body, but happy birthday tomorrow. Thank you. Seeing your D&D video made me so fucking happy. Matt Coble is one of my heroes, and that sort of crossover between two of my favorite YouTubers is amazing. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Matt Coble. Yeah, he's dope. He's also one of the inspirations. I should have talked about this in the video, but he is definitely one of my DM inspirations, and I have watched so many of his videos and used a lot of his advice in my games. Hopefully we get the opportunity to like directly collaborate one day. Thanks, Joe. Happy early birthday to you as well. I guess it is Gemini season. Happy early birthday to Cameron. Sending pure mountain snow water melting up here. Yeah, they say that like mountain water is like really, really pure. I don't know if that's true though. Adequate hydration is a big issue if you consume a lot of sugary drinks. Well, I actually don't drink sugary drinks at all. I used to drink a lot of Diet Coke, which is technically not sugar. But I don't really even drink that much these days either. I just drink water. I never been, well, it's not true that I never been, but for the past many years, I've never been like a drink person. Like I don't really give a shit about drinks. Like I'm happy with water. I do have these little flavor packets that are sugar free that I use sometimes, just in case I do want something sweet to drink. But I'm generally fine with water. Like 90% of the time, I'm fine with water. Isn't it because glaciers form rivers on mountains or something like that? I have no idea. Best water I've drank. I really don't think there's enough of a difference between different types of water to say that one is the best. At least from my experience. This is why I drink tap water. I don't think it's that much different from bottled water. At least not the tap water here. I will say I have had gross tap water before. I will say that, but my tap water is not gross. So I think smart water is really good. I would say smart water is better than my tap water. But the other ones like Dasani and Aquafina and other bottled water shit, I feel like it doesn't taste the same, but it doesn't taste any better than tap water in my opinion. So I'm kind of freaking out. Well, not freaking out, but I'm waiting on a package, and Amazon told me that they delivered it, and it said handed directly to a resident, and that definitely did not happen. So I'm hoping that the carrier maybe either clicked the wrong option, or they're just being lazy and they're gonna deliver it later. But that would be annoying. It's not a big deal because Amazon is like really good about refunding you. Like they really don't ask any questions. If you say, hey, I didn't get this, they're like, okay, we'll refund you. But it is still annoying, especially when you were waiting on something. Did I ever eat cereal with water? Nah. I think I've tried it before, but nah. That ain't it for sure. Minerals. Yeah, that's the thing about water bottles, is it feels like bottled water feels really wasteful to me. And apparently it's really bad for the environment, but it's very convenient, and it encourages me to drink water. But that's why I got this giant refillable bottle. It's convenient as well, but it is not as convenient as grabbing a bottled water. What's up, Kasuna? Amazon refunded me for a return item that never made it to them as it got lost in the Utah distribution center. Yeah. Give Biden-Harris a grade so far from the progressive perspective. I don't know. I'm not fully researched on everything they've done. But as far as I can tell, it seems like they're doing okay. I think that I'm still waiting for certain things to see how things are going to go down. Like, I'm still waiting to see if they're going to fight for minimum wage increase, if they're going to make some solid climate change things, climate change policies, if they're going to go for student loan forgiveness, things that they've talked about, but haven't really put forward yet. But there's still time for that, so I don't think it's fair to like criticize them for not doing it, because these things take time. Shasta Lightfoot, thank you for the $5 super chat. But yeah, for example, the COVID relief bill I think was really good. And the rhetoric at least is good, so we'll see what happens. The foreign policy still seems like it's going to be typical Democrat bullshit, but I think we all expected that. So how can you react to milk substitutes? Almond milk is literally just almonds and water. Almond milk is pretty good though. I think I like. No, I was gonna say I think I like soy milk better, but I think I like almond milk better than soy milk. I'm mixed about Amazon. I feel every time I use them, I support something bad because of the press they get. I don't know. I mean, it's up to you. You just got to do your own research and decide whether or not you feel comfortable with that. I tend to think that, first of all, if your goal is to never support any corporations or any companies that have done something bad, you're gonna have a real hard time in this life. It is real hard to avoid that. So that's just a hard thing to do to begin with. I'm not saying that you need to be 100% perfect with that. You know, every little bit you do, you know, can help, but I just feel like that's a otherworldly task. Also, it's almost like asking individuals to solve a problem that should be solved at the government and corporate level. And I don't think it's our responsibility to punish Amazon or to fix our economic system. That's not our individual responsibility. But, you know, if you want to do something on your own, that's up to you. By the way, I love my Heiko shirt. Awesome. Thank you. The Heiko shirt is pretty popular. A lot of people like it. But if you feel like bad about something, then maybe you shouldn't do it. If you're gonna feel bad every time you do it. I also feel like, at least for me, I'm never gonna be as big as Amazon or as rich as Jeff Bezos, but I can build my own resources and build my own station so that I can use my platform and my resources to enact the change that I'd like to see in the world, or at least to begin to enact that change, things like that. And like, if I'm utilizing Amazon to do that, I don't feel too bad. Like this microphone, I bought this microphone on Amazon, and I use this microphone to make videos about how people should be compassionate and socially aware. So like, to me, that's fine. Thank you for the birthday wishes, everyone. Can it be okay to play as a person of color in a D&D campaign if you're white? I live in a country where there aren't that many people of color that can speak our mother language. I think that if you are... first of all, I don't think you need to ask people, ask my permission for what you want to do, but I think you need to talk to your players and see how everyone feels about that. Because that's really all that matters. They're the only people that are going to be playing with you. I'm almost certain that, like, for example, if you were playing and it was like a live game that was streamed on Twitch, almost certainly people would be upset by that. But you're playing D&D, and there's like so many different races and stuff in D&D, so you're like specifically choosing to play a human that is not white. That's a little odd, I guess, but especially if you're intending to change the way you act because you think that non-white people act a certain way, I think that's a bit weird. But if you just want to look a certain way, I don't think that, it's like, it's whatever, I guess. Like, I think D&D intentionally has so many races so you don't have to deal with those kinds of, like, if you want diversity in your game, you can be a gnome or a goblin or a orc or a lizard folk, rather than, hey, I want to be a human except brown. I think that if you are thinking, I'm going to act the way that I think a non-white person acts, I think you're asking for trouble with that. Every time I consider changing the world through consumptive choices, I imagine this tiny little guy throwing a kitchen sponge at a tidal wave. Well, yeah, because you're thinking about it in the wrong way. It's not your job to fix the entire world. Fan, thank you for the $20. Thank you and happy pre-birthday. I love your views and just want to do something to help it grow and maybe counter some toxicity in politics if possible. Thank you very much. Why are my alert sounds not playing? I need to figure out why that's not working. It's not your job to fix the entire world. But what you can do is affect your circle, your area of influence, whether that's just your friends and your family, whether that's just one person that you mentor, whether that's your students, whether that's anything. I think there's a lot more that an individual can do if you really care, if you really give a shit, then there's a lot of stuff you can do. You know, you could start an organization, you could join an organization, you can hold meetings, you could run for office, you could work for someone else who's running for office. There's shit you can do if you actually care. But again, it's not your job to do that. The idea is everyone contributing a little bit, and then those little things add up. But the big problems are not going to be solved by individuals doing little things. The big things are going to be solved, going to have to be solved at a higher level. But that's also why it's important for people to be aware of and involved in politics, because we have to, it's kind of up to us to put the right people in power. Favorite show to binge right now? I just binged a bunch of Schitt's Creek recently, but I think I'm done binging it. I'm gonna move on to something else, I guess. A bunch of comments just came in. I don't really know much about Quebec. Do I play video games? If yes, which ones are your favorite? Right now, the only video games I play are competitive video games, like fighting games. I play a lot of Street Fighter. I was playing a lot of League of Legends, but I haven't played it in a while. And I play a lot of chess, if that counts as a video game, because I play online. But I also play a lot of WoW. But I'm trying to get back. I don't know, I kind of lost interest in video games, but I'm trying to get back into video games. Like, I want to play like a real good single player game. It's been a long time since I've like played through a single player game. If money was no object, what sort of projects would you want to work on? I don't know, probably just more in-depth involved video projects. I don't know if I would make like a film, because I don't really think of myself as a filmmaker, but I guess that's what it would end up being. I think what I would do if money was no object is sort of enable other talented and smart creators to make what the stuff that they want to make. Because I think there's people that have a voice and have a talent that I just don't have, that just need more resources. So I think that's probably what would happen. I don't know if you go on TikTok, but I personally have been off since the start of May because some people wanted to protest blocking content discussing racial issues. How effective is it really? It's hard to say. Things are only as you can't tell how effective something is until after you do it. Do boycotts and protests work? Sometimes we've seen protests work. but we've also seen them not work. So you never know until you do it. Also, sometimes the point of a protest or a boycott is not to change something, but just to raise awareness about something. And in that sense, I think protests can be incredibly effective. What's up, Chase? Letitia W became a homie. Letitia W is the homie. Thank you for supporting the channel. I suggest the first Max Payne game, like the original one on like PS2. Yeah, a lot of people have suggested Hades. I might try that. I did play Breath of the Wild, actually. That game's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of lucky in that I have like a little bit of a platform, so the things that I do and say have a little bit more reach than the average person, but that doesn't mean that individuals can't do things. And again, like I said, if you really want to get involved, there are things you can do as an individual, but I understand not everybody wants to do that. Like, I don't want to run for office. But you can. Like, you literally can. It's not that hard. Even if you don't win, you can get a message out there. I would say it's hard to win, but it's not that hard to run. What am I gonna make for my birthday meal? I didn't even think about that, to be honest. Because I'm gonna be pretty busy this weekend, so I don't even know if there's gonna be time to like even like make a meal. I'm going to my dad's house tomorrow. Maybe I'll probably just go to like a restaurant and get something cool. I don't know what though. Disco Elysium. I might try that. What am I doing for my birthday besides stream? Going out with friends tonight. I'm going to see my dad tomorrow, and then if I get back at a decent hour, I might see if anybody wants to hang out. Only really have really loose plans at this point, but the goal is to hopefully see some people over the weekend. Replaying characters of different races in RPGs, do your thoughts differ if it's a game like Vampire the Masquerade where there aren't fantasy races to serve as a form of diversity? I think the same thing applies. Like if you're playing a different race because you want to try to act the way that you think a different race acts, I think that's probably not gonna work out very well. But I don't know, if you just want your character to look a certain way, like I don't personally care. I feel like other people might care about that. I don't think I've met a person who hasn't loved Hades, so I think it's a safe game. Yeah, it's like everyone raves about Hades for sure. I haven't seen people in 84 years. Yeah, it's been weird. It's been a weird couple years, or weird year, I guess. But these days, I'm vaccinated, and most of the people I know are vaccinated, so we feel a little bit less anxious about it. Do I have medical marijuana legal in Alabama? They actually just recently passed legislation to legalize certain forms of medical marijuana. but it's only like edible forms, not like vaping or smoking. The only thing about like Hades is usually, or at least I haven't played it, but like when I watch people play it, it looks like a game where you just kind of like dungeon crawl and grind, and those types of games aren't usually my jam, but everybody fucking loves that game. So it just seems unlikely that I would be the one person that doesn't like it. Bill Maher got vaccinated but still got COVID. Is that true? I mean, I think that I don't think anyone has denied that it's not possible. But you know, that's the nature of vaccinations. I don't think any vaccination is like 100%. Yeah, WoW is definitely a grind, but the thing is, there's other things to do in the game, and there's like if you like in WoW, if you get sick of grinding dungeons, you can go do PvP. If you get sick of PvP, you can go do battle pets. If you get sick of battle pets, you can go, you know, farm herbs and do professions. If you get sick of that, you can do like there's so much stuff to do in WoW. But in other games, it's like, oh, that's all the game is. A good example is like Diablo. Like a lot of people love the Diablo series, but there's one thing to do in that game, and that's go in dungeons and fucking kill things. And if you get sick of that, it sucks because that's the only thing you can do in the game. Pyre. I'm not familiar with that one actually. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get back into single player games. Probably will stream some games too, if anybody's interested in that. I always talk about how whenever I stream games, nobody watches, but I'll probably do it anyway. I'm definitely opposed to employers testing for weed. I think that's an invasion of privacy. Jay, there's no specific topic. You can ask about whatever you want. It's a very free-flowing conversation. We're hopping from topic to topic as I read the chat. Do I play Horde or Alliance? I play both, but I probably identify with Alliance more. Well, that's also, I mean, that's true, except for the humans. Also, I just like the Alliance races more. I think they look cooler. But I have characters on both just so I can play with whoever, you know, whatever friends happen to be playing at the time. But if I had to pick one, I would pick Alliance. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. Do I stream my D&D sessions? I do not. I am looking maybe to getting another stream game going. I think my current players, they don't really want to stream it. Like, they just want to keep it private. They're a little bit nervous about streaming it, but I might try to find, you know, a couple of them seem like they will be okay with it, and maybe I can find some other people to play and might have a stream game. Local pharmacists told me that they're having to throw away vaccines because not enough people are getting them. I believe that. I mean, my first vaccination, I wasn't even scheduled to get it. Like, this was before it was opened up to everyone. I actually just drove my mom to get her vaccination, and they were like, "Hey, do you want one? We've got extra." And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." Have I bought stuff from infomercials? I don't believe I've ever bought anything from an infomercial. Persona, a lot of people like the Persona games also. Some people like the grinding. Like, I don't know. That's just me. I get bored of it after a while. Like, grinding type of stuff it's more fun when you're playing with friends, but with single player games, I don't know, man. It's like, especially like if it's not repetitive, then that's good. But a lot of it is just repetitive. You're just doing the same shit over and over, you know, beating the levels. So if it's not repetitive, I think that makes it a little better. But again, some people are into that. Some people like that shit. I like chill games that doesn't require reaction times. I mean, that's fair. I don't really have like specific type. I just like anything that's fun. And I just really have to take it one game at a time to really decide. I mean, I know I'm very competitive, so I like things like fighting games and MOBAs and things like that. But as far as single player games, it's like I'll try anything. I like puzzle games a lot, or not puzzle games, but like games with puzzles. Because I feel like a puzzle game is like, isn't that like what Tetris and shit like that? Isn't that what those are called? But I do like those also. But games with puzzles I really like. But the problem is, sometimes the puzzles are hard and I get stuck. And I'm the type of person, if I get stuck for too long in the game, that game's going on the shelf and never getting touched again. That has happened before. Could the Viltrumites have conquered planet Vegeta? Probably. We're basically talking about a planet full of Supermans. Have you ever played Munchkin? I've played Munchkin. It's pretty fun. Immersive Sims games like Prey or Dishonored. Nope. I mean, most of these games that have come out over the years, I haven't played most of them because I kind of just lost interest in video games for a while, outside of very specific things like League of Legends and Street Fighter and stuff like that. But I'm trying to get back into it. I see Bishop cosplay in the corner as a goal. Could you explain that more? Yes. I'm trying to build up my membership on YouTube. So as an incentive for that, once I hit 100 members or homies, I'm gonna put together a Bishop cosplay. Bishop is a X-Men, if you if you are not familiar. But I've always wanted to do a cosplay of the character Bishop, especially after the character was in Days of Future Past and they gave him dreads, and I thought that was awesome. So the cosplay will probably be more based on the film version, although I may add some elements from the comic book versions. Yeah, once I hit 100 members, the goal is to put together a Bishop cosplay. I've never really cosplayed before outside of like random. Well, no, I've never really cosplayed before. Not really. But I've always wanted to. The problem is there's not that many good cosplay ideas for black people, especially black people with long hair, especially for black men with long hair. There's not that many good cosplays. But the Bishop one seems very perfect for me, so I wanted to always try that. Rusty Lake. Nope, never heard of that. Told you I'm completely out of the loop. Am I buffering? Is that comment about that? Comment on critical race theory. I'm sure, like, I've never like specifically researched critical race theory. I'm sure that I could understand it if I did, but I've never really done that. And I'm sure that it's like way too broad to just like comment specifically on it. Like it's a whole thing. Like there's like whole books written about it. So it would be better to be more specific. This happens a lot where people sort of ask you to comment on a very broad subject. Like, what do you exactly want me to say? Like someone will say, what are your thoughts on socialism? Well, that's like a huge, broad subject. What do you mean? Like, what about socialism? And what do you mean when you say socialism? Like, are you talking about, you know, it's like, it's hard to respond to stuff like that. There are a lot of good cosplays. Don't limit yourself to characters that are black. I guess. I think an important part of cosplay, at least for me, is I want to be recognizable as the character that I'm playing. And the character doesn't have to be black for that to be the case. But that means that they would have to have some other sort of, you know, recognizable trait or characteristic. Yep, Bishop absorbs energy and and blast it out. That's what he does. He is a mutant, much like the X-Men. In fact, he is an X-Men from the future. Yeah, the Predator is definitely that's definitely a common suggestion. What are my plans for my birthday? Well, I'm hanging out with a friend tonight. Tomorrow I'm going to see my dad. Other than that, I'm not sure, because I'm probably not gonna be, hang out with my dad all day. So I probably will be free in the evening, and we'll see what happens after that. Do you have a favorite X-Men movie? My favorite X-Men movie is Days of Future Past. Not surprisingly. I think most of the X-Men movies are kind of like blah to me, to be honest. There's a few good ones, I guess. My birthday was trash. Hope yours isn't. Well, I'm sorry that your birthday was trash, and I hope mine isn't also. Been trying to do more research on critical race theory, and boy, howdy, is it a rabbit hole getting into the nitty gritty and at odds with liberalism in many aspects, which is core in my ideology. Yeah, people ask me about this a lot, so I guess I need to actually read up on it. I'm interested in what ways it's at odds with liberalism, because I consider myself a liberal also. Yeah, and this is why I like more specific questions and conversations, because these labels and topics mean different things to different people. So, the word liberal, who knows what people are thinking when they say that word. A lot of people these days, a lot of the more lefty people like to use liberal as if it is an insult, like it's a bad thing to be. They say it very condescendingly. So, I don't know. I think the general idea of a liberal is someone who is in favor of freedom and democracy and capitalism to some extent. That's kind of like a general idea. In America, of course, we use the word liberal to mean left of center, anyone who's sort of like left of center politically. But throughout like the more generalized idea of the words, is more about just strong valuation of freedom, and I think it's associated with capitalism. And things like equality, like social economic equality. Jay, I don't think I can help you with the prison question. Wait, I know exactly what superhero you can play as this really smart guy on YouTube, goes by T1J. Maybe one day I'll get to the point where people cosplay me. I don't know how they would do that though. White fragility helped me to start to heal the cognitive dissonance I feel being told to be proud of my country while not really learning the true history. Interesting. People can be too far on either side of the political spectrum. It's really a shame the US doesn't have a multi-party system. Diversity in representing the electorate is needed. I feel the right is all about the free market, and American liberals actually want slightly less capitalism. Well, it depends on who you talk to. But this, again, it depends. If you're using like the American version of the term liberal, then yes, American liberals usually want more government intervention into the market. But like, for example, leftists would say that American conservatives are also liberals. But I think there are, there are liberals that are left-wing that are very, very strong advocates of capitalism. But again, it depends on what you mean by that, Like I like capitalism, but I also like, I'm in favor of pretty heavy government regulations and government, intervention into the markets. The right says it's all about free markets, but seem to like to cut taxes for the rich. Well, I think the right just likes to cut taxes for everybody. Also, I think that conservatives and people on the right, they tend to associate being rich with being like talented and being worthy. So I think they have this sort of like reverence for the rich, and they think that the rich is kind of like owed a reward for being smart enough to get rich. But I also think that the right would, for example, if you tell the right, we're going to raise your taxes, but we're going to lower taxes on the rich, I don't think that they would be okay with that. But they are okay with, we're going to lower everybody's taxes, but most of them are going to be for the rich. They're usually okay with that. But also I think the Republican Party in America they're like running a con on American conservatives, and they're either like lying about their intentions, or they're like convincing people to support things that are against their own interests. Got my first dose of the vaccine a few days ago, but I'm going to continue wearing a mask. What's your take on mask requirements being dropped in most cases for vaccinated people? Well, I've been just following the CDC guidelines. You know, my take doesn't matter because I'm not a medical expert. I don't know anything about this. So if the CDC and other medical organizations say that it's safe for vaccinated people to not wear masks, then I believe them. But as far as I know, at the moment, they still want people to wear masks in highly concentrated people where many folks may still be unvaccinated. Because I think it's still not clear. Like, you can still get, I think the vaccine protects you from getting sick, but it's not clear that it protects you from completely getting the disease, completely getting the virus to begin with. So you could still have the virus and still spread the disease to unvaccinated people. But they have dropped a lot of the mask guidelines, and you know, that's the point of getting the vaccine, is to stop the spread. So if they're saying that it is successful at stopping the spread, then cool. I'm cool with that. I'm middle left. I like bits from both sides. What's needed is a centrist party. I would argue that the Democrats are a centrist party, or at least like, I would argue that Democrats are middle left party. There is a more progressive wing of the Democrats, but the Democrats as a whole are probably close to the center. There's a brief discourse on Twitter about the morality of abortion. They believe it should be legal, but it's still immoral. Any thoughts on that? Well, I don't think it's immoral. I guess that's the main question. So there's two aspects of it. A, is an unborn fetus a person? That's just a philosophical question. I don't think that anyone is ever going to like come to a answer. Everyone has their own ideas on that. It doesn't feel like to me that an unborn fetus is a person. But more importantly than that is bodily autonomy. I think that what happens to someone's body, I think a person gets to choose what happens to their own body, even if it involves someone else's body. I think that's just a matter of human rights, I feel like. Your video that told me to quit being lazy and get educated. I'm listening, thank you. And yes, Google is free and Google is biased. Challenge my algorithm. Google does have an algorithm, and over time, Google will start to show you things that it thinks that you will like. So if you do want to challenge that algorithm, you could do things like Google in incognito mode, or use, you know, one of those types of things. But overall, Google is free, and Google is a great way to start educating yourself. Google has access to almost all of the information that exists. Side question, do you know if I reload the stream, you get more money because I have to watch an ad again? Well, it's not guaranteed that you're going to watch an ad again, but it's possible. But the thing is, you watching an ad is worth maybe like 0.001 cents or something like that. It's not worth it. Just engage with the video normally as you would. Kids haven't been vaccinated yet. Yeah, I think that they're starting, or maybe, I don't know, maybe in other countries or something, but kids haven't been vaccinated yet. But also kids are much less likely to get sick. But again, I'm trying to follow the guidelines as I learn about them. I'm worried about Latinos growing up in rural parts of America becoming more conservative and voting Republican. I see many rural Latinos believing the same anti-vax stuff that Republicans believe. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's hard to say. It's hard to do anything about that. People are going to support what they think serves their interests. And, you know, there are a lot of more conservative people in certain communities, for sure. Also, the Republicans are very, very good at propaganda. And they're very good at pitting people against each other. If you can convince one minority that another minority is the problem, you can get somewhere with that. Mountain Harpy Music, thank you for the 149 super chat. Yeah, I would imagine that YouTube would be able to recognize that you're constantly reloading the stream, so it's unlikely that you're going to get an ad every time. But yeah, just engage with the video normally. That's fine. If you want to support, there's donations and Patreon and stuff. I understand that not everyone has extra money, but just watching the video is fine. Engagement is really important. This is why YouTubers scream at you to click the like button. Make sure you click the bell. This is why YouTubers do that. This is because engagement is super important. So as long as you do those things, you're helping. I promise. It just started raining really hard. I don't know if you can hear the rain against my window here. Do I watch any other Black POC YouTubers? Yeah, I mean, do you specifically mean political YouTubers? I mean, I watch a lot of Black YouTubers. I like Cat Black. I've been watching a lot of Nappy Headed Jojoba. There's a couple of YouTubers that got recommended to me recently. I don't remember their names. Let me look on my page, see if I can find it. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of people. I like Swoozy. I like Nathan Zed. Cat Black. Did I already say that? I like Cat Black. So yeah, there's a bunch of them. I'm white and I've been watching more Black commentary documentaries to educate myself. That's good. Did I ever do the DX suck it gesture in school? Yeah, I was 12 once. We did that shit all the time in middle school. Dropped a sticker since I'm premium and not seeing ads. Actually, being a premium, we get a cut of your subscription when you're a premium subscriber. So you still support even when you're a premium subscriber. In fact, your views are worth more as a premium subscriber than they are as a person who sees ads. But I thank you for the sticker anyway. As someone who lives in a Republican-leaning state, do you feel like you're targeted with more Republican propaganda media than people from, e.g., New England? Well, not really, but I think it's because I live in the city, and the city is much more progressive than other parts of Alabama. Like we have a Democrat mayor, we have a Democrat representative in this district, so it's not that bad for me. Does it seem that the people who comment on videos of top news section of YouTube is almost 100% right-wingers? Possibly. I don't really look at the top news section, I guess. Oh shit, there's another angry video game nerd video. I need to watch that. I still love AVGN, that's my shit. Jeremy Fielding, I don't think I've seen that. What's your stance on the Second Amendment? I live in a conservative rural part of America. People around here are decked out like the army with rifles, body armor, and ammo. I start doing the same. Well, the Second Amendment is what it is. I guess the question is, are you asking me what I think about guns or what I think about the Second Amendment specifically? I guess it's slightly different questions. But anyway, I made a video a while ago, and the title of the video is "Guns Are Stupid." So you can guess from that title what I think about guns. But pretty much the only argument for guns that makes sense is the fact that there is a Second Amendment, and the fact that the Supreme Court has sort of interpreted the Second Amendment to mean that people are allowed to have guns, even though I think it's pretty obvious to any honest person that the Second Amendment was not written so that people could just hoard guns for just cause. But through heavy lobbying through the NRA and things like that, the Supreme Court has, as well as the legislative branch of the government, has sort of ruled that Americans have the right to have guns. And that's really the only good argument, or I wouldn't say it's a good argument, but it's the only uncounterable argument for guns. Beyond that, guns are dumb. They are clearly cause way more harm than good. They're bad at, people have guns for self-defense, but they're bad at self-defense. They're responsible for, an insane number of deaths every year, even though I think that number is going down. I'm not sure if that's true actually, but they're like a blight on our society. And I think that one of the things that America is going to have to do in order to become like a real country, like become a like non-dystopian country, is to get over this like obsession we have with guns. I watch so much YouTube, I might be spread thinner now with my premium. Maybe. They don't really release like the actual like calculation, but the general consensus, and we can like actually prove it by looking at our analytics, is that you get more money per view from premium users than you get from people who watch ads. All right, thank you for checking out the stream, Impatient 8. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you, Morgie, for the birthday wishes. Second Amendment is important to prevent the government from completely steamroll over its citizens. Harder for the government to completely do whatever it wants when people can fight back. I don't... The argument here is that if the government wanted to, I don't know, steamroll the citizens, like if the government wanted to declare martial law and invade people's homes and destroy people who were insubordinate, that individuals would be able to do something about that, that's kind of absurd to me. The government could fry you with a laser from space if they wanted to. Like, you and your little AR-15 is not going to do anything about that. And you know, I mean, not saying anything about anyone here, but a lot of the people who claim to have guns to protect themselves from government tyranny, I feel like we've seen examples of government tyranny. You know, we've seen state-sponsored police officers murder people. We've seen, you know, LGBTQ people being virtually attacked, not protected by the government. We've seen the government trying to control women's bodies. Where are all these people that are trying to fight government tyranny? Where you at? Jay Desi4, thank you for the $5. Does there exist a video essay on YouTube about the similarities between Friends and living single? If not, could you do it? I don't know if that exists. I would not be surprised if it does exist though. But you know, maybe that's something I could do. I like making videos about sitcoms. If guns were actually good at self-defense, my argument would be different, but they just aren't. You are much likely to hurt yourself or be harmed than you are to protect yourself. And every study ever done on guns like supports that. You're more likely to hurt yourself or someone that you love rather than using it to protect yourself. Like, much more likely. Or just, you know, hurt someone other than someone who is actually attacking you through an accident or something of that nature. Like every argument for guns is an emotional argument. There are no like practical, logical, data-based arguments for guns. And you can't really argue within an emotional argument. So that's why this is a very charged topic. I mean, you can anecdotes are not data. Again, I mean, it's just it's an emotional argument. It's not data based, and you can't really argue with that. Like, you can't convince someone out of their convictions, even if their convictions are not database. Everyone thinks that they're an amazing gun owner until they're not. I gotta beat Jose. Well, honestly, Jose should be the one to do it. He's really good at that. I need to hit Jose up though. Since we both really like sitcoms, we could probably like collab on something. Who's Jose? Is he single? Jose is a YouTuber who makes really great video essays. He's kind of underrated, actually. I mean, he gets a lot of views, but he only has 92K subscribers, which I understand is not a small amount, but I don't understand why he doesn't have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, because his videos are amazing. I did watch Invincible, yes. Well, I just typed Jose into the search bar and his channel was the first result. So maybe that'll happen for you. Maybe it happened for me because I'm subscribed, but cops should use less than lethal weapons. They're available, but they won't use them. Listen, I don't want to get into this issue where people who aren't trained or familiar in the things that cops have to deal with, like, to pretend that we have all the answers. But we do know that, for example, military protocol, like, you're not supposed to just go murder people at the very moment that they become a threat. It seems like there has, it seems like American cops, whenever something becomes a threat, or whenever something is perceived as a potential threat, they have the authority to just shoot to kill. And there's got to be a better way than that. I don't know what the better way is, because, like, for example, less than lethal weapons or non-lethal weapons, that's a possibility. But just in the case of something like, if someone's like trying to attack you and you shoot them with a non-lethal weapon that doesn't stop them, that could be a problem. So I understand some of the arguments, but there's got to be a better way than just like killing people as soon as you get spooked. Jose's channel name is Jose. Yeah, the icon is a blue jay. It should come up. I think it's the only channel. It's the most popular channel that's just called Jose. So it should come up if you search YouTube. But I do like what you're doing, Betty, because I think that a lot of people who are anti-gun, they don't know anything about guns. They never talk to anyone who owns guns. So it's definitely a good practice to actually have dialogues with people, because you know, people who have guns, they're not bad people. You know, a lot of my friends have guns. They're some of the kindest, you know, most pleasant people I know own guns. And it's, you know, it's interesting to hear their takes on guns. But I do think there's a lot of like propaganda around guns in America. And I think a lot of times people just kind of make shit up just to like, just to make it seem like people don't know what they're talking about. I also feel like I would feel better if it was less easy to get guns and not anyone could just like show up and get one. And if like people were like required to prove that they knew how to use a gun in a safe way. But if we're going by the data, truly look up any study ever done on guns. They are not good at defending people. They are not good from protecting people from harm or death. They are good at the opposite of that. But you know, again, if people are convinced of something, you can't convince them out of it. It's just like, you know, like if someone gets drunk and gets in a car, you be like, yo, don't do that. And they're like, no, I'm a real good drunk driver. People say that all the time. No, I promise I'm a good drunk driver. Well, you can't convince someone if they're already convinced. I mean, maybe you can, but generally you can't. I'm not talking about tests and background checks. I'm talking about like psychological tests. I'm talking about you need to be put on a range to show that you know how to do it. You need to demonstrate physically. But I mean, you're kind of just proving my point. It's like guns, you know, the existence of guns, people are still gonna get killed. Am I picky about any foods? Well, the only thing that I like straight up refuse to eat is olives. I fucking hate olives. I think they're disgusting. There are other things that I don't prefer, like peas, beets, but I'll eat them if they're there. But the only thing I just won't eat is olives. But other than that, I'm pretty not picky. I feel like I'm out of focus. I think I'm leaning forward too much. Most of the killings by guns are not done by criminals. That's not a great argument. Listen, I have done like there are no logical arguments for guns. They're all emotional ones. All of the so-called arguments are like easily defeated. by just data. The only like particularly logical, the only one that like even remotely comes close to making sense is you have the right because of the Second Amendment. Like the argument, like if you make guns harder to get, then only criminals will get guns. It's like, that's like saying, what's the point of murder being legal? Because murderers are still gonna murder people. So what's the point of doing that? What's the point of laws? Criminals don't follow laws, so what's the point of having laws? The criminals are gonna break the law anyway. It's kind of a weird argument, I feel like. I hate guns because I'm a nervous person, so I'm biased. Well, you should be nervous around guns because they're incredibly dangerous things that fucking hurt and kill people all the time. I feel like you should be nervous. Anyway, we've been streaming for a little over 2 hours, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream because I'm gonna get ready to go hang out with some friends, or with a friend, and maybe we'll meet up with some other people a little bit later. Thank you for all of the birthday wishes. If I'm home tomorrow evening, I may stream for a little bit again on my actual birthday. But if not, I'll see you when I see you. I should have a new video coming out next week, so you can look out for that. If you are into Discord, I always want to plug the Discord. Go ahead and join the Discord. theonejanitor.com/Discord. It's just a chill community where you can chat about various topics. Yeah. The bot posted in YouTube, so that was good. Anyway. I guess that's it. I don't know what I'm trying to think of. But yeah, follow me on my social media. You can email me if you want to talk about something. But thank you for the birthday wishes. And if I don't stream tomorrow, I will try to stream on Monday. For those who don't know, I try to stream on Mondays and Fridays. Of course, I miss it a lot, but that's the goal. So that's what I'm gonna try. That's what I'm gonna go for. But if not, just look out for the video on Friday, and of course you can click the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any of those streams or videos. But I guess that'll be it. And I will see you when I see you.